So who are you telling me was in that John Wayne TikTok?
Now, Claire, I think you mean whom. And we've got to be really careful with a couple of linguists here.
You know, I sure get tired of this notion that because I got a linguistics degree, I've also got a badge from the grammar police. In fact, it kind of makes me want to throw myself off this cliff every time I get asked questions like this, because I don't care to tell you how you should speak. I'm more interested in how you do speak. How about you, Luke?
That's absolutely right, Jackson. After all, we linguists are just like any other scientists. We're here to study phenomena in their natural habitat, whether that be the mountains or the canyons or the trees. We're not going to be out here judging them and saying they should be a mile to the south or further up the ridge. We just want to come to understand them and learn from them.
Right. And after all, the most proper formal language that you could use today would be considered, well, pretty inadequate even a few hundred years ago. I mean, consider that today you barely distinguish between subject and object at all, and only residually in really frequent words like they and them, he and him, I and me. In Old English, you not only had to distinguish between subject and object and every noun, pronoun, adjective, or determiner, but you had to distinguish between nominative, accusative, genitive, and dative, right? 4 categories for all those. Go back to Proto-Indo-European, you got to distinguish between 9. Nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, allative, ablative, vocative, locative, and instrumental. Now, English today still codes all of that same information, but instead of coding it in the endings of words, we code it mostly by word order and context. The language is still just as precise, just in a different way. So who and whom is kind of a natural thing to fall out of the language because you don't need it to tell who the subject and who the object is. And by the way, it's still who in the sentence that you said.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that input. That was really interesting.
And with a couple of linguists here, what we really want to know is, how many languages do you guys speak?
I won't miss them.
All right, I made a mountain analogy. I made a canyon analogy.
I liked what you said.
I'm liking the rock, yeah. And it gives us something to look at.
Right, it ties it to the land.
Yes. It grounds the video.
Oh,
So we don't get electrocuted.
Grounding.
Whoa.
Rock.
We don't shock anybody.
Whoa.
Yeah, your mom's grounded.
Yeah, whatever.
Another take?